Hi, welcome to the BoshNRoll channel. I'm your host, Brian Koval. Before we get started, make sure to hit those like and subscribe buttons. If you want to see me play your favorite deck or your spicy brew on the channel, I take donation deck lists. I'll do a deck tech, play a full Magic Online League, and help tune your list. If that sounds good, check out my contact info. It's in the video description below. Now let's go play some Magic.
Welcome back to another BoshNRoll video. Today I am playing Legacy Lands. This is at the request of subscriber Spunky, who wanted to see some lands played on the channel. And the list is courtesy of Lauren from my Patreon Discord. She had been posting a long string of 4-1s with the deck before finally breaking through with the trophy. She's been working really hard on this list, and I'm happy to play it. So this is a collaboration from two of my loyal subscribers. Thank you both. So the interaction that is new to this lands list is Urza Saga. Urza Saga, if you've been watching the channel or playing Magic at all, you're familiar with this card at this point. So what you might not be familiar with is its interaction with Thespian Stage. So Thespian Stage is 2 colorless tap. Thespian Stage becomes a copy of target land, except it has this ability. And by this ability, they mean the tap copy of land. If you copy Urza Saga, you go up to Chapter 1, then at first, Thespian Stage is a tapped Urza Saga only has the ability of tap copy a land. And then in your first main phase after that, it remembers how to tap for colorless. The main phase after that, it learns how to make constructs. And these abilities are given to the permanent. There's a triggered ability that gives the ability to this permanent. And then when it goes to Chapter 3, in response to the trigger, you copy something else, ideally Basic Forest, and then you get to search for an artifact. But then, because it's no longer Urza Saga, it's no longer a saga itself, Basic Forest doesn't have the text that when the stack is empty and it's on Chapter 3, sacrifice it. So you end up with a Basic Forest that has 2 tap, make a construct forever. And it's Wasteland proof, and it's Blood Moon proof, and you can just crank out constructs until your heart's content. But that is the end game interaction that this deck has that it didn't have before. That has replaced the Field of the Dead in this particular build. We're not making any zombies, we're making constructs instead. And around that interaction, you have a pretty standard lands deck. The goal of the deck is still prison people out until you can make a Merit Lage. We just now also have this crazy construct combo built in as well. So we got Wasteland, Rishadan Port for the prison stuff, Life from the Loam to do it all over again, Punishing Fire to keep creature decks at bay, Crop Rotation to tie the room together, Elvish Reclaimer is more copies of Crop Rotation, Exploration gives you extra land drops every turn, so you can pull ahead with this Life from the Loam instead of just tread water. And there's a little Urza Saga tutor package. The deck already had 4 Mox Diamonds, so you could always tutor those, which is pretty sick. It's nice. The hardest part I've found in deck building is finding artifacts to tutor with Urza Saga, which makes it kind of hard to just jam into any old deck. But Lands was already playing 4 0-mana artifacts in Mox Diamond, so that was built right in. And Lauren has added Expedition Map, Pithing Needle, and Pyrite Spellbomb to that package. So that's the deck. That's Lands. It's got the crazy new Urza Saga Thespian Stage interaction in it. The sideboard is just ways to beat Blood Moon pretty much, and ways to slow down combo decks. And that's what we're doing here today. So let's get into it and see how many constructs we can make. I'm on the draw in round number 1, and I'd like to get this out of the way now. Lands is not my deck. It's not my style of deck. It's not a deck I've put a lot of work into building. I respect the deck a lot. I think it's really good. But when it comes to mulligan and sideboard decisions, I don't really know what the formula is. And you're probably going to see me take some weird lines because I'm making this all up on the spot. I don't have any muscle memory for this deck. As always, hit the comments if you see something you didn't like or something that it could have been done better. Happy to hear it. All that said, this hand has Mox Diamond. I know that you're not supposed to keep hands that don't accelerate, and I have the diamond, but This hand isn't really going anywhere very quick. I guess it doesn't have to because I'm porting starting turn 1. I can keep this. And there's a chance Mazavith will either be completely insane or completely irrel. Uh-oh, I'm losing my Mox Diamond, so the jig is up. And we're either playing against a combo deck, which is bad, or some sort of Jund-esque, like, stompy or just mid-rangey creature sort of thing. Like, it could be curses, or I think that if it was a combo deck, it would play a heavier discard spell than Inquisition of Kozilek. Like, Inquisition of Kozilek doesn't take Force of Will, which is an important card to remove from the hand of your opponents when you're a combo deck. So I don't think this is a combo deck. It's more likely Pox or Curses or some nonsense like that. There's an... Ooh, alright. Now we have Stage. So Stage Saga is coming. I think it's extremely likely that we're playing against a deck with Opposition Agent, so I just have to be careful of that at some point. But they didn't take my Mox, so thank you, opponent. By taking Pithing Needle, what do they turn on? Like Liliana of the Veil? Is that what their plan is? Let me tell you about Grove of the Burn Willows and Punishing Fire against Liliana of the Veil, though. Alright, so they've gotten ported on turn 1 because they let me keep my Mox. Hope we can punish that going along. And I'm playing Saga this turn to get that started, playing Thespian Stage next turn. Oh, it's Depths. That didn't even occur to me. I'm just like deep in the sauce of like, what could this insane deck be? It's like, it's just fucking Dark Depths. Alright, so finding a Wasteland before I'm dead is going to be pretty important. I'm going after the Swamp because Dark Depths doesn't care if it's tapped. If they have Urborg Hexmage, they just got me. And I put my Mazavith in the graveyard. But I have Loam, so we're actually pretty set up. They're going to need a Wasteland or a Ghost Quarter to get this Dark Depths, or this Merit Leech through. Alright, there it is. And so I'm going to have to spend a turn casting Loam, which means that I don't get to do the... Yeah, I have to cast Loam, then I have to get Mazavith, and then, yeah, I'm just going to lose this Saga while basically doing nothing with it. It's alright. I'm a life from the Loam deck. I'll have another chance. Alright, Mazavith is in play. Maybe they'll Hexmage my Urza Saga. Just give me a break here. Let me reset it. Alright, so they're making the Lage. If they have a Wasteland or Ghost Quarter or Pithing Needle, they just get to come in here. Yeah, okay. We're dead. Alright. Now we know what we're playing against. Need to prioritize Wasteland here. What else happens? Do I want Neek Stone? I don't think so. I'm probably not getting hit with the same Merit Lage twice, because my deck doesn't gain life at all. Force of Vigor can hit Pithing Needles, where Needling Wasteland and Mazavith, that's pretty much their primary weapon in this matchup. So Force of Vigor's in. Pyrite Spellbomb is kind of interesting because it can hit a Hexmage to force an activation before they're really set up. It can hit Sylvan Safekeeper, so it can do stuff. I think Wasteland is my plan more than Pyrite Spellbomb's gonna be. And are there any lands I can cut? Yeah, Tabernacle doesn't do anything against this deck. Merit Lage is indestructible, and Tabernacle says, at the beginning of your upkeep, destroy this creature unless you pay 1. It's not even sacrifice, so you can't even, like, pressure their mana and get it that way. Karakas is very good, Ghost Quarter is very good. I don't think Bojuka Bog's important to this matchup, so I can just shave some of the less important lands. I could also cut a Depths because I'm the control deck in the matchup, and I don't think trying to out-turbo their Depths with my Depths is a good plan. And we didn't see much out of them, but there's a chance they have like Loam to reset their Depths, and Bojuka Bog could be relevant. Neither of them make mana the turn I play them, Alright, I'm just gonna do this. On the play, of course, because that's how losing works. I have Life from the Loam, Exploration, Urza Saga. This expedition map can do stuff over time. I have this turn 1 Elvish Reclaimer. I'm going to keep this hand on the strength of Life from the Loam. So Maze of Ith interacts with Merit Lage. Elvish Reclaimer interacts with Merit Lage in that it gets Wasteland, or another Maze of Ith, or Caracas. Expedition Map does the same. Also a tutor for my interactive lands. Mox Diamond lets me jump ahead. So we'll see how this goes. My plan is turn 1 Mox Diamond, discarding Maze of Ith, play Urza Saga, cast Map, and then cast Reclaimer off Mox Diamond. And then the next turn I can start loaming. Or I can pop my map and get Wasteland. Yeah, this exploration is just sort of decoration. You know what card would be absolutely devastating right now? Force of Vigor, because Urza Saga is an enchantment. You just hit my Mox and my land. I don't even care about discard spells right now. Sure. They're going to take Exploration, which will eventually matter, because the Loam is a thing. Like, would eventually find multiple lands for me to play. But it's not a huge part of the early plan. Thespian Stage, you don't say. So now I can hang out right here. And I can copy Saga and get things to work. Or I can tutor up a different land as needed. So I think I want to copy Saga now, get this to work. Then we go to my main phase, Force of Vigor. Okay, that'll clear out any pithing needles that bug me. Alright, search your library for a card. So in response to this, I want to float mana. And go ahead. So I can get Mox Diamond. No, that doesn't do anything. I have to get Needle and name Vampire Hexmage to start turning things off here. That Saga ticks up. And then I can tutor for Wasteland with Expedition Map. There it is, Wasteland. Put this into play. Then I can just pass the turn with multiple options here. Alright, so the Wasteland shield is up. My Stage Saga is going to Chapter 2 next turn. It's going to learn how to make constructs, and then I just need a different land to copy before it pops off there. I guess I could just copy their depths. I think I fucked this up. I just copied their depths and make a 2020. Alright, so I just found a line that they walked right into, but I didn't take. Yeah, the turn I copied Saga, I'm pretty sure Dark Depths was literally in play. That means a copy of target land. Doesn't have to be mine. Yeah, I could have attacked them with a 2020 this turn. Alright. I'll remember that for game 3. I told you, these are not things that I'm fluent with. So they have a stage. They have any sort of fast mana. They can make Merit Lage. But I have Maze of Ith. Like, I'm trying to think, like, how bad is it if they Spirit Guide Dark Depths right now? And I can have Maze of Ith in my hand and or copy. Like, I'd really like to cast Life from the Loam this turn, but I don't know if I can. Like, if I tap the Wasteland. No, let's just take a draw step. Don't die to Wasteland if you don't have to. Drawing Rashad and board's pretty decent. And then I'll just pass the turn with my Force of Vigor available. And hope they don't Force of Vigor me. Okay. Yeah, with being the control deck in this matchup gives me a lot of play to, what am I trying to spit out here? Like, I just have to sit here with Wasteland in play until they do something about it. because I don't really have to do anything else. All right, so what are they rotating for? Is it, and it doesn't matter. Like, I'm not gonna respond in any kind of way. Yeah, Urborg was a likely candidate there. Oh, you're a Doomsday deck. What fun. Okay. I didn't know about this. Nobody told me about this. All right, what can I do about a Resolve Doomsday? I have the full tutor package available. Blast Zone doesn't do anything. Ghost Quarter, they may search, so it doesn't even force a shuffle. Could just try to take all their lands, but I assume there is some sort of Lion's Eye Diamond pile going on. Interesting. And deadly. Oh, no, they're just dead because I'm going to attack them with a 20/20 by copying their own Dark Depths. Right. I made a plan the whole time. They've resolved their Doomsday. I'm just going to take a look at their deck here before I crunch them with Merit Lage. Force of Vigor confirmed. They have some Inquisitions. I don't see any Thought Seizes. Surgical Extraction. Sylvan Safekeeper confirmed. All 4 Pithing Needles. Endurance is in the deck. Alright, sure. Alright, well, let's see if the shields were down the whole time and if I'm just a dummy. Alright, make sure I copy and don't make a construct. Surprise. Did you have a plan for this? Or did neither of us know how this works? No, just do your sweet Doomsday thing and concede to your own Merit Lage. Magic the Gathering, folks. Okay, so Pyrite Spellbomb can hit Sylvan Safekeeper and pressure their lands, sort of try to break that up, but like I said in the last sideboard round, I'm pretty sure I'm more interested in using Maze of Ith, or not Maze of Ith, Wasteland and Ghost Quarter for that job. Endurance can jack up a Doomsday, but how heavy are they on this Doomsday shit? Like, that's so weird. Though, like we saw that game, this deck is extremely good at not dying to Doomsday, or not dying to Merit Lage, but it's not very good at not dying to Doomsday. So I think I want my Endurances in. And over what? I want every land that makes mana, because I do need to keep that party going. Like, Punishing Fire does pressure the Hex Mages when I don't want to get hexed, and pressures the Sylvan Safekeeper. Yeah, I don't know where I'm going to find room for 3 Endurances. And, like, I have to bring in... Oh, Endurance also engages the Hex Mage and the Safekeeper in combat. Like, if my opponent tries to pivot onto some sort of cheeky little beatdown mode, I do have a 3/4 body I can just put in front of it. So that makes me less worried about removing them. So 3 Endurance in here. Yeah, sideboarding is really tough because you don't really want to cut green cards because you have 6 forces right now. And you don't really want to cut lands because you have cards like Mox Diamond and Light from the Loam that need them. So this hand doesn't ramp, but it does have Loam Stage Depths. Like, I have a turn 3 Lage, and I have a Wasteland to keep me alive in the meantime. I'm going to keep this. All right, we got a Reclaimer and another Wasteland. I think I want to... I could just put Wasteland into play and make sure I never die. It would be pretty hard to die from this spot, though, because they have Forest, which doesn't tap for black, and even if they go Urborg, I guess, like, Urborg, Hex Mage, Lotus Petal, Crop Rotation does kill me, so I should probably just leave the shields up with Wasteland. This puts the big juicy I have it right on top of Pithing Needle, but, I mean, they were going to name Wasteland with Pithing Needle anyway. Sylvan Scrying. Alright. We're taking a look. They're getting Thespian Stage. So the beatdown is eventually going to be relevant. Alright. Exploration was a good draw. I'll take that. So It's basically free to sneak that one in. And Thespian Stage, Expedition Map. Alright, now we're starting to do land stuff. Leaving up this Wasteland. If they can assemble both halves of their combo and answer my Wasteland all in one turn, they deserve to win. But I've put up the shield that I can. Alright, so if I waste them now, they can rotate. Like if I just waste stage in response to the needle, they can 2-tap, sack it, get something different. But I do play a Ghost Quarter that I can map for and sidestep the needle on Wasteland. And then I have Loam Ghost Quarter, checking the combo for a while. Alright, so needle on Wasteland, no surprise there. I was about to say I'd be a little surprised if they attack right now, and they didn't. So, good job, me. So I can play Depths and just make Merit Lage. But I think being the control deck is more appealing here. So if I go 1-2, activate this, get Ghost Quarter. Ghost Quarter is here, and get Saga chunkin'. So now I can quarter them if they go for the combo, and I can copy Saga if they don't, though I'm probably going to wait a turn on that anyway. Though if they get Dark Depths, I can just make one with my own Thespian Stage. That's always been part of the plan here. So they got Urborg, which casts Doomsday. It's possible I just want to zap the Urborg right now before they cast Doomsday. Like just knock that out of play and figure it out later. I really don't want to get Doomsdayed here when I have so much going on. Alright, yeah. Let's make sure they can't cast Doomsday. And they're both combo pieces away. Oh wow, they're out of basics. We are looping this Ghost Quarter starting next turn. The Reclaimer can beat down, but Saga will eventually win that race. Please just attack. If they start attacking me, I'm pretty sure that means that their hand sucks and they have no plan to get Merit Lage. If they just have a handful of Doomsdays over there. And Surgical Extraction messes me up pretty good here. But I'm just going to hope they don't have it. Actually, Surgical is not that big of a deal because they either have to Surgical the Loam or the Ghost Quarter. They can't get both. So here's Ghost Quarter, and here's Ancient Tomb. Yeah, I want to use Ancient Tomb because that jumps me ahead on mana. I don't want to Ghost Quarter into a crop rotation. Yeah, I'm just going to leave up GQ at this point. Yeah, they were tapped out when I activated the last one. They don't have basics to fetch, but they do have a deck full of crop rotations. I can take another 3 here. Ooh, they didn't attack. Alright, so end step. Stage will copy Saga. Then we go to my turn. And I do want to Dredge Loam, thanks for asking. So the stage gains tap for 1. Saga gets to tutor. Do I want to float mana or make a construct? I think I just want to float mana here. I'll have all the time in the world to make constructs. Oh, I can get Needle and name Elvish Reclaimer. Just shut that off. Yeah, I think I'm good on mana, so Elvish Reclaimer. You've got a 3/4. And then I want to play... I could just play my Depths and get to work, but I don't think I need to do that. So maybe I quarter them. Life from the Loam, quarter them again. I'm going to go after the Forest because that's the land that can cast crop rotation. If they have Surgical here and take the Loams, that's pretty bad. Okay, sure. Alright, I'm going to copy their Forest. Wait. I already had a mana floating. I can do it that way instead with the Wasteland. So Force of Vigor targeting Urza, Saga, and Pithing Needle. Oh, okay. So they're going to rotate in response. That's fine. I will copy their Forest. And if they spend another crop rotation to make sure this doesn't happen, that's not a big deal. Oh, they can get Bajuka Bog here. Okay, yeah, that's what they just did to me. Alright, that was pretty good. I'm learning. Oh, they didn't get Bajuka Bog. they must be in on this, what am I trying to say? Doomsday plan. Right, get back Saga and Ghost Quarter. So here's Ghost Quarter, here's Saga, and bam. Take out this Urborg again. Alright, slow and steady. I feel like they should have got Bajuka Bog there. I would have actually been pretty far behind against their 3-4 beatdown if they just get Bog there. Here it comes. I'm on a 5-turn clock. But I'll have Constructs pretty soon to back me up. I love that I have a forest that can tap for colorless. That's so funny. Thespian Stage is weird. Oh, okay, they're evoking Endurance. Nothing I can do about that. They get to get rid of my Loams. That does put Pithing Needle and Expedition Map back in my deck for Urza Saga, though. I'll take that. And they pitched Sylvan Safekeeper to do it. So taking them off green last turn was a play. And I can just make Merit Lage now. So Rishadenport, Dark Depths. And if they try to make Merit Lage first, like if they play stage and try to copy my depths, I can copy my depths in response and remove my depths from play. Yeah, alright. Out Merit Laged the Merit Lage deck. It's time for round 2. On the draw in the second round. This hand is full of gas. I'm going to keep it. I have Exploration and Saga, yeah, I have all of my ramp spells are here between Exploration, Mox Diamond. My selection's here between Rotation and Reclaimer. So the hard part of this hand for me is how to play it. I don't have a Loam, which is the card that would make this super easy. So my opponent played Underground Sea Ponder, which is becoming a joke on this channel as that means it's Doomsday. Like I'm just 100% confident that every opponent who goes Underground Sea Ponder is on Doomsday at all times. I'm gonna play Saga. Or do I play Caracas? No, I'm gonna play Saga because that one takes some time to get to work. And the tutor does matter. Play Diamond. Discard the Caracas. Is that right? Now I have 2 Groves. Alright, I'll discard the thing I have redundant copies of. And then Exploration, Grove. Do I leave up Crop Rotation or do I cast Reclaimer? I think I cast Reclaimer. If there's Storm and they go for a graveyard line that I could have Bajuka Bogged, then they got me. Dothy Voidwalker. Well, shit. That's a graveyard hate card. I need a Punishing Fire right now. Alright, well, I guess I'll put my hand into play. Do I have a Merit Lage right now? So, I think I do. So I can pay 2, turn one of these into a tapped Merit Lage. I can float mana, or don't even need to float. I can crop rotate Bog, and yes, I have Merit Lage right now. So let's pass the turn and see if I'm dead. I'm not going to port them. If they have Dark Ritual, Helm of Obedience, good job. But I'm not going to give up my win on board to like maybe slow down something they're doing. Come on! Fucking Baleful Strix. Alright. They have Baleful Strix. That turns off my Merit Lage. They're in beatdown mode with the Voidwalker. Red mana. Some sort of... Oh, is this what Grixis Control is doing now? They're just like Grixis Control with Voidwalker? Is that what's happening? Alright, let me look at my deck list and see what I want to do here. I could just... One thing I could do is... Do I have a land that kills Dothy Voidwalker? I mean, I could get Tabernacle and just pressure this Grixis deck. And then dance into a spot where maybe I'm able to... Oh, I have Blast Zone. That's what I need to do. Yeah, it's a Blast Zone situation. Okay. Which land do I not need? It's probably Caracas. With Reclaimer, I can tap the land I'm planning on rotating. That's fun. Alright, well, Caracas is gone forever now because of Voidwalker. So I want to get Blast Zone here. Start getting to work. And I can make a construct because I just have all this mana sitting around. Cool. And then I can... Oh, I drew stage. That's great. So I can make a construct and then also rotate. Do I need to be messing around with this Blast Zone? Or can I just construct beatdown? So I can make a construct, and then the tutors on the stack, I can rotate this into something since I'm going to lose it anyway. Maybe even another Urza Saga. Yeah, I'm just in beatdown mode here. I get to search for Pyrite Spellbomb right now. I could yeah, Pyrite Spell. Okay. This is starting to come together. This is making sense. Do I attack into Baleful Strix? Because I am threatening Merit Lage if they lose their Strix. Alright, yeah, let's go. Alright, yep. You got a trade out of that. Okay. Now I just have to hope this deck doesn't have a combo kill, because I'm pretty well set up to win any kind of fair game. I have direct paths to Merit Lage, and I have the Infinite Constructs thing going on. So I'm not going to lose a game where I don't get comboed out here. I guess like Blood Moon could change the math if they just have that in their main deck. Voidwalker continues to beat down. They did not want my Elvish Reclaimer. Okay, so in the upkeep, I want to copy Urza Saga because I want stage to get a counter this turn. If I wait till my main phase, that's too late because this triggers in the main phase. There's the triggers. I will destroy Dothy Voidwalker with... Oh wait, no, I should attack first. This is a 3/3 creature. I will attack while it's a 3/3 before it's a 2/2. Here we go. If they have Lightning Bolt, it was dead anyway. They seem to have a removal spell of some variety. Brazen Borrower. Yeah, sure. Whatever. Okay, so I'm gonna bomb the Dothy Voidwalker, and then I'm gonna bomb their graveyard. I don't know if that's important, but I'm doing it because it's there. This deck might have Snapcaster Mage in it, or Delve creatures. And then I'm gonna Rashad Import them off their Underground Sea coming into this turn. Alright, this is what I've done. This is what I'm capable of doing. Yeah, use their mana for Brazen Borrower makes sense. Here we go. We have a Ponder left over. I feel like we're ahead. I'm just concerned about a combo kill, but it does... I have not seen a lot of indicators that that's likely to happen. But that doesn't mean I can just ignore it. So, tap these two, make a construct, and then I get to tutor, or I think I want Expedition Map. Like, I don't want to discard my only land, and map is just the Infinity Tutor. I'm going to get a basic land right now, because that gives me the nuts. Like, even if they have Blood Moon somehow, I still have that beat with my basic forest that makes construct tokens. I'm gonna port them in the upkeep. Gonna continue attacking their double black, because we've already seen Dothy Voidwalker. It seems possible / likely that this deck has maybe something like Liliana of the Last Hope or something. I don't know. I'm gonna play like they have double black. Like, I can't take them off red. Like, double black spells are just more likely, and we've literally seen Voidwalker. That's all I need to say. I'm over here trying to talk about whatever other double black cards they might have, when Voidwalker is a devastating card that we've already seen. Alright, in the end step, I'm gonna make a construct. Do I even need to tutor? Like, I can just turn this into a forest forever right now and not have to worry about that moving forward. Or I could get one more tutor. Tutoring for Pithing Needle and naming Helm of Obedience could be a plan. No, I think I want my my profits locked in here, and then I want all my mana up for crop rotation and expedition map. So Windswept Heath is the draw. I can make bottomless constructs at this point. The Blast Zone can eventually answer Brazen Borrower, but I think I beat Brazen Borrower if I just put Maze of Ith into play. So Maze, or I could start wasting and quartering them. Like, maybe it's Wasteland. They haven't played a land in a few turns now. I could actually take them off red for the rest of the game, but I am getting beat down by this creature pretty well. I really want to be wasting them. But I guess I can do both, right? Because I have crop rotation. So I have 1 mana for the crop rotation. Activate port. Yeah, I think I'm short on mana. So I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. It takes 3 to make a construct. It leaves me with 4 left. Takes 2 to port. 1 to waste, 1 to crop rotate. No, I'm actually good. So I can get Wasteland. Play Wasteland, waste there. I could take them off a color, or I could take them off double black more permanently. I could take them off red. I guess getting bolted out of the game is something that could happen. I also probably should have got Maze of Ith with this. Also should have wasted the untapped land. Just literally free to do that. And alright, I'm gonna pass. Alright, yeah, that was pretty sloppy. None of these lines are in my brain. Just making it up as I go, like I said. Alright, so I think I'm gonna fetch for... Might as well get Taiga. I have a lot of basic lands already. So, activate crop rotation. So, crop rotation. I'm gonna cast this now to play around soft permission. Yeah, the hard permission was gonna get me anyway. Yeah, that's why I should have got Maze of Ith with the other one, because Lightning Bolt, or Wasteland was less important to this plan than Maze of Ith was, and now I might just die to this creature. Alright, now I have to take them off red because of burn. Yeah, that was bad. Should have got Maze of Ith. If I lose this game, it's because I threw it away. It's not because they did anything particularly better or more powerful than I was doing. I actually think what I'm doing is significantly more power than what they're doing, but I had the chance to get Maze of Ith in an uncounterable line, and I let them use a Force of Will that was otherwise dead in the matchup, and yeah, that was just... Now I'm dead in 2 turns, and I need a Miracle top deck. Okay, I'll block Snapcaster Mage. Make another construct. That was a freebie. Alright. Am I dead to Bolt? Do you have Void Walker? Because I'm dead to that too. Liliana the Last Hope. Hey, that's that card I mentioned that was a double black card. Okay, so they're picking up Snapcaster Mage, so they can Snap Bolt me in the upkeep. So I'm dead in a variety of directions. Like from the loam, maybe? So I don't think that helps me. Yeah, if I drew Life from the Loam and I could get back Wasteland, though I'm still dead to this, so that doesn't matter. Yeah, I lost this game totally on my own accord by fetching the wrong lands in the wrong order. I'm trying to think if there's a line here. I can make these into 4/4s, but that's still only an attack for 8, which is not enough. I have no way to untap Blast Zone, so I can't get it up to 3, but that still doesn't answer the... Yeah, alright. I lost this game. That one was totally on me. I think I got the correct 2 lands with the crop rotation and the expedition map. I just prioritized them wrong and turned on a card that should have been dead. Okay, now what do I want? I believe these red blasts come in after losing to Brazen Borrower Beatdown. That is somewhat interesting to me. They seem creature heavier than normal, but I still am not convinced that Tabernacle is a card I want, though if Liliana ever goes ultimate, Tabernacle can actually keep that under control. Saga is great. There's a good chance they have Blood Moon post board, so I need the Force of Vigors also. So Tabernacle, probably not great. Caracas, probably not great. Like Grixis doesn't have legends. I don't think I want 2 Maze of Iths. I want 1 to tutor for if they are beating down, but if they're not beating down, then it's pretty bad. Oh, boarding out 6 cards is tough. Pithing Needle, they do have Planeswalkers. Like I can assume Jace is in this deck probably. They're gonna have Graveyard Hate, probably Cling to Dust, maybe Surgical Afterboard. I think I have to leave in the Dark Depths because just making 2020 Merit Lage matters, though we have seen Brazen Borrower now, but I brought in the Red Elemental Blast as counterplay. Punishing Fire, we did just lose to a creature beatdown type strat, so like maybe Punishing Fire is really good against their build. I don't know. I have no idea at all. I do like the 1 Maze. I like the Sagas. Is it just Needle? Can I just cut the Needle? Maybe I just don't play all 3 Force of Vigor. And if they have Blood Moon, it sucks, but how many of them could they possibly play? So, this is just, it's the entire game if they have it. Alright, I gotta figure this out quick. I think I'm cutting Pithing Needle and gotta make 1 more card disappear. A Mox Diamond. Mox Diamond does play out from under Blood Moon really well, but it also is bad if they exile my Loams, which I think they're gonna do. Alright, I have no idea if that's right. In fact, I'm sure that it's not, but it makes sense to me with my limited understanding of land's nuance. Alright, I can keep this. I have Fire and Grove, so I'm unlikely to lose quickly to Brazen Borrower. Don't really mind giving them extra life points. Do I want to commit to Saga right away? Yeah, the tutor effect does matter to get rolling. Drawing another land would be pretty nice. Just like a fetch land. I would just like a forest. That would be great. Thoughtseize probably going to take Elvish Reclaimer, but Pyroblast is an option. I would love if they take Punishing Fire. Genuinely enjoy it. Punishing Fire does beat up the Voidwalker, which I honestly forgot about during sideboarding, which was a big part of game 1. So maybe I should be, more serious about that. Alright, so I'm gonna play my Reclaimer and port them. I think that's the best use of my resources here. The Saga is gonna be pretty awkward when it just dies without doing anything other than tap for mana. Do you have a Fatal Push? Wow, right in your deck? Did they even see Reclaimer game 1? Did they see anything worth pushing? I guess Constructs, technically. Alright, Mox Diamond. Okay, cool. That's not helpful even a little bit. I think I do need to make a Construct just to do anything here. Yeah, this is bad. This hand is not coming together. I have to get Expedition Map because nothing else does anything. Shit, this is bad. Yeah, when you don't draw lands in your lands deck, haven't seen a Life from a Loam yet this match. And if they don't answer the Construct, Rishadan Port plus attack for 2 or 3 a turn is not nothing. So we got that going. They did not shuffle their Ponder. Alright, cool. Exploration. I think I have to attack first and then pop my map. If they ambush this with Snapcaster Mage, that's not a big deal. That's also not a huge deal. I can kill the Brazen Borrower half of that pretty easily. Pretty sure I have to map here. What do I want to get? Do any of them draw cards? Do any of them do anything? I could just get Bajuka Bog and check Delve Threats or Snapcaster before it becomes relevant. Bajuka Bog doesn't really help me cast any spells, but most of my spells are colorless at this point. I think getting Wasteland would just be absolute suicide. I could get Stage. Yeah, I think Stage actually is the highest upside of things that I could be doing. Like if I draw Depths or draw Saga, Stage is the one that goes to work. Alright, no play. They have the Borrower chillin'. Alright, I also have no play. I could draw a card off Pyrite Spellbomb. I think that's a good use of this card right now. Ooh. This plays straight into Force of Negation, but I think it's worth it. This is exactly the sort of thing I wanted. This is what makes this game start functioning. Brazen Borrower's in. And they had Force of Negation. Okay. Bummer. Alright. So I have Punishing Fire for the Borrower. Hopefully this isn't going to do too much to me. As far as engines to get Force of Negation to go, I think I would prefer the Loam getting exiled to the fire. Because I left all 4 Loams in and I only have 1 fire still in the deck. They chose to shuffle off Ponder. Okay, now I just have a 20/20. Is that the plan? I think I would rather Mox Diamond discarding the Dark Depths, or I can just sit Depths and play and threaten them with it. Though Mox Diamond lets me loop Punishing Fire as a second red source. Alright, so fire the Borrower right now. And if I try to pick it up right now and they have Surgical, it's gone, but there's not a way around that. So I think I am just going to pick it up right now. Alright, got it back. Good. Alright, and I'm still at 17. I have 10 minutes on my clock to their 18. I have not done a good job doing this quickly because there's so many decisions. So I do need to pay attention to my clock and win the games that I invest all this time in. Like, I spent a lot of time thinking last game and then just punted it anyway, which I can't afford to do with this big slow deck. Baleful Strix. If they ever have a Blood Moon or Back to Basics, Strix gives me the second target for Force of Vigor just as a freebie. And I'm probably not going to play this Exploration unless I really start going off with Loam, because it's my green card for Force. Alright, Red Blast is D's. I take out this Snapcaster Mage. And I'm going to hold up Red Blast now. Now I'm not just playing around Surgical, I'm playing around Jace the Mind Sculptor. Take my 1 point. You got me. Polygon's Command, getting back Snapcaster Mage. That's actually devastating. And nothing I can do about it. Extremely interested in a Life from the Loam. Loam. Another stage. Not super helpful. I mean, I guess I can port. I'm going to port them off double black. Still worried about Voidwalker, and we've seen Liliana. Do I just fire this in here? No, because I have the Red Blast. Really don't want to just get Jaced. And I've seen Snapcaster Mage, which is a card that I want to Red Blast. Ugh. Maybe I should spend a turn turning a Thespian Stage into a Grove of the Burn Willows. Or into a basic land in case of the Blood Moon. But I'm pretty set up against Blood Moon right now. Alright, there's that. In the end step, I will copy my stage, or copy my Grove. This lets me protect my Punishing Fire with Red Blast. Dauthi Voidwalker does get to exile Punishing Fire. That's how the rules work. Alright, deck. I am pretty well satisfied with the number of Force of Vigors I've drawn. Alright, so I'm gonna fire Voidwalker here. You're fired. Force of Will. Red Elemental Blast. They have 1 card left in hand, but I don't think it matters because this beatdown is going to do the thing. Punishing Fire gets exiled. The reason Punishing Fire gets exiled is because it's a damage-based removal spell. It doesn't say destroy Dauthi Voidwalker, it says deal 2 damage to it, and then the spell resolves, and then the spell goes to the graveyard, at which point Dauthi Voidwalker is still in play. And then the game checks state-based actions, including do any creatures have lethal damage, and then it puts them in the graveyard. If it were Abrupt Decay, which says destroy the creature would be dead already by the time the spell goes to the graveyard. So Abrupt Decay does not get removed off Dauthi Voidwalker, but Lightning Bolt and the like do. How about a Loam? Nope. I might just have to Force of Vigor 2 Strixes. That seems like a reasonable use of my mana at this point. Bang, bang. Ah. So those were both 2-for-1s, but I got a 2-for-1 off them, so I'm down 1 card in that exchange total, if my math is correct. Although nobody is smart enough to do that math for real. Deep Magic Theory. Murktide Regent. That's an 8/8. And... aha! The game goes on. Had it the whole time. I think I should play this second exploration at this point, because if I draw Loam, I'm going to need to go off. So I think I need to turn my Maze of Ith into a my Grove of the Burn Willows into a second Maze of Ith. I have 2 stages now, so I can keep my Grove and still make a second Maze of Ith. Got a Ponder. Another Ponder. Ponder shuffled into Ponder. I'm double Bolt away from dead. I have Blood Moon covered in my hand. Touching. They have another Regent. Oh no, they definitely do. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Makes the first one a 12/12. This one's a 6/6. Alright, so I'm dead to Lightning Bolt because Snapcaster Mage continues to get in. They have 1 card left over there. I don't have time to make the third Maze of Ith. I could have 3 of them in play, but we're not there. Yep, dead to Lightning Bolt here. Get the Regents out of combat. Honestly, I feel like I'm one turn short here. If I could have stabilized at 5 instead of 3, would have felt pretty okay with this situation. But yeah, now we're just dead to Lightning Bolt. Yeah, so I messed up game 1, and they had me beat game 2. But yeah, we should be going to a game 3 if I sequence my plays correctly. Game 1. Lands is a deck that doesn't let you make a lot of mistakes, and I'm not particularly good at playing it, so I'll probably be having retrospectives like this at the end of a lot of these matches, but on to the next one. On the play in round number 3, with a Loam hand that doesn't ramp at all, I'm gonna keep this. This might be a mistake, but I do have Grove and Fire ready. I'm going to lead on Taiga. That's the one that I care, that both gives away the least information and I care the least that it gets wasted. Though maybe it gives away a lot of information because what deck plays Taiga Go other than lands? Oh, Windswept Teeth. Oh no, it's the mirror. Uh-oh. I kept this hand on the strength of Punishing Fire, then I got really excited when I saw Windswept Teeth. But now it might not matter. Jeez, you have Sylvan Library in your build? I can never win. So I can Ghost Quarter the Forest. That might be the cheese factor I'm looking for. Do I think they have 2 forests? Though if I Ghost Quarter them and then they find a Loam off of Sylvan Library, I'm dead. It's just 1,000 miles behind, never winning. So I think Port is the way to attack their forest without just throwing the game in the graveyard to a life from the Loam. Because I'm not down a land this way. Though I don't think I'm beating the Sylvan Library. Urza Saga is going to have to show up and do some work. Library triggers. Oh, is this green-white depths? This doesn't look like lands all of a sudden. Okay. I'll be able to Punishing Fire this Elvish Reclaimer. They're not quite at the magic number yet. Alright. So you're saying there's a chance. Okay. Okay. It's coming together. Alright, I don't think they could put a land in their graveyard at instant speed on this board state. And I'm glad I didn't fire off the Ghost Quarter, because green-white lands definitely has more outs than that. So if I play Ghost Quarter, it makes sure I don't just die to crop rotation. If I play Thespian Stage, it moves my game plan forward so I can make Merit Lage next turn. But then I also die to crop rotation, because they can just get Caracas. And with the Sylvan Library chunking, I'm not really interested in either of those things happening, so I'm just going to run the Ghost Quarter out and make sure I don't get Merit Laged this turn. And if the game grinds to a complete halt, which is unlikely, okay, just 4/3 creature on the board. Let's go. Yeah, too bad my Fire's in the graveyard. Could have killed that in response to its trigger. Good thing I didn't play Urza Saga this turn. Just nip that one. Alright, so I have Loam. I can't fire this anyway, so I'm going to play Saga and start working towards the Thespian Stage thing. And they're getting ported. Gonna hit the Savannah. Sylvan Library triggers. Windswept Teeth for the turn. Here come the beats. And they're just passing. Alright. I've seen worse. And an exploration would really set this game off. So what can I do with my mana? I can port them and then copy Saga. I think that's the best use of my mana this turn. Fetching Dryad Arbor. Or are they just shuffling their Sylvan Library? Alright, it is the Arbor. Oh, there's more. Endurance, oh god. They're just getting busy. Oh, alright, yeah. Didn't play my Grove of the Burn Willows. It's fine. Grove was not stabilizing, or Punishing Fire was not stabilizing this board anyway. I'm gonna take a damage off the board by tapping the Dryad Arbor. 4/7. That does take a turn off the clock, a whole turn. That's the difference between attacking for 4 and or 7 and attacking for 8. So I can tutor up Mox Diamond this turn with the Saga. That might be too little too late. I might just have to make Merit Lage now and hope that they Swords to Plowshare it. Gain 20 life. Just gonna take my 7. They have a stage, that's why I never played my Dark Depths. So stage. Copy this. If they have like a disenchant here, they could blow me out, just eat up all this mana for free. Force of Vigor's even worse. Do they play that in the main deck? Please no. God, they're doing stuff. They're crop rotating. Are they gonna make Merit Lage right now while I'm tapped out? That's pretty smart. Good job. You got me good. Oh, Wasteland. Even better. Yikes. I was dead to all these plays. Which one do they want to go after? Okay. I kind of prefer that because I do want the tutor. I want the Mox Diamond. Does that matter? I don't even know. But I want to do it. Oh, there's more stuff. Or are they going to copy my stage now? They're going to steal my stage play? Oh, these lands mirrors are so weird. Alright, so now they have infinite constructs. And does a construct actually help me on this board? And probably. I guess I have to leave my green up. I guess I didn't because I'm tutoring for a source of green. So I think Mox Diamond is the best thing to get. Just try to put these lands in my hand to work somehow. Needle doesn't answer this board. Spellbomb doesn't answer the board. I don't have time for Expedition Map. So, alright. So I have to cast Loam. Does that do anything? I could stage to copy their Saga, and then I have a Saga again, but Saga doesn't do anything now. Yeah, I think I need some sort of like high impact Life from the Loam to happen. It's like Dredge Loam into, I don't know, Azvith, Tabernacle. Tabernacle doesn't help. Yeah, I'm just way behind here. They had Mox Diamond to start the game, and I didn't ramp at all until turn 6 or 7. And they've just played half a step ahead of me the whole game. Like, this game is unwinnable for them if I have an exploration, but obviously I didn't, so here we are. Here come the beatdowns. I think I can go to 2, and then I can make Merit Lage right now. I'm actually not going to Dredge Loam. Alright. Crop Rotation is certainly a card. Like, I can port their Urza Saga, play Dark Depths, make Merit Lage right now. Or I could play Dark Depths, make Merit Lage with Ghost Quarter up. I lose hard to Caracas. Plow gaining 20 life is not that bad here. I could Crop Rotate for Mazavith, but I don't lose to Wasteland there because they have to. I can do it during combat. Okay, I'm gonna play my Saga, and I'm probably going to Merit Lage or rotate for Crop Rotation at some point here. No attacks. They're at 6. Like, if I can stabilize this for a turn or two, we're doing the thing. I'm gonna port their Saga before it can make a construct. It also turns off stage if they find or use depths. They're at 5 life over there. Right, so their stage just did learn how to make constructs, so that's a problem moving forward, especially with me at 2 life. Swords to Plowshares, huh? That's a good one. Alright, I go to 4, and because Dryad Arbor can attack now... Oh, I can Ghost Quarter Dryad Arbor, so I'm not dead. I'm just way behind. Alright, so... Ghost Quarter Dryad Arbor. Crop Rotate. Probably it's gotta be. Oh, did they not get a basic? Interesting. Crop Rotate. I guess it's gotta be the Taiga. It's either Taiga or Saga, but I need Saga to make a blocker, so I think it's Taiga, yeah. Get Maze of Ith. I go to 1. Maze this. I take 3. And then I guess I just make Merit Lage right now. And hope that Maze of Ith holds the fort. I lose to Crop Rotation, but I'm already losing to Crop Rotation because now the Maze of Ith is in play. Zenith. Oh no. I needed you to not do more things. So they have another 3-4. So they have multiple lethal attackers now. And I don't think a draw step... I don't think Dredging Loam helps me. I want to take a draw. And look like a genius to do it. But also not really. Kinda though. So the second Maze of Ith does come in, and then I can block something with a construct. I'm actually dead to Swords to Plowshares now because all of their creatures attack for 3. And let's see if they know how this Saga stage thing works. Do they know how to copy in response to this trigger? Do they have a Pithing Needle in their deck? That's a good question. Alright, so they just floated mana. They did not know how this works, but they play a Retrofitter Foundry. Oh, they're a Saga deck themselves. Okay, that makes sense. Makes sense to have a Saga package when that's also something you're doing. Alright, Knight of the Reliquary. So I'm definitely dead next turn. Here comes the squad. Make a construct. Die to Swords to Plowshares. Okay, yeah, so they were just showing off with that Knight of the Reliquary. Didn't even need it. Dead everything. Yeah, so they had Mox Diamond turn 1 Sylvan Library, and I just played some lands and died. So definitely got a mulligan to hands that do more than that one did. Force of Vigor seems like it's going to be important. They had Sylvan Library, they had Saga, Saga tutor targets, which probably means they have Saga. Meekstone looks pretty good. Endurance blows Knight of the Reliquary into the dust. So we're just sort of pivoting onto this super fair deck. Needle can name Knight. Bog can hit Knight. They're going to have a lot of lands, so I don't think Tabernacle is the most helpful. Wasteland, I like. Schadenport, I like. Maze of Ith, I also like. Though, do I need the maze if I have... Alright, yeah, what I want to put in is pretty obvious. What I want to take out is much more difficult. Pyrite Spellbomb doesn't kill a lot of things in their deck. So, at least not compared to Force of Vigor and Endurance. And Loam's important, but they are Bog Crop Rotation deck. Punishing Fire. Kill some things, like some early Elvish Reclaimers it'll get. It gets Dryad Arbor. Is that how I'm going to fight this game? Maybe I don't need all 3 Force of Vigors. So, seems like it's going to be really important to have sometimes, but I don't want to get flooded on. They're not going to have something like Blood Moon that just ends the game. So, I don't need to worry about that. Fog Blast Zone, all good. Maybe I can go a little skinnier on Dark Depths because they're a stage deck themselves, and I don't really want to hang a Depths into play at any point where they could just copy it. Do I want to just get off Dark Depths because they're also a Source of Plowshares decks? Just focus on the Saga construct thing. And gotta cut one more card here. I don't think it can be any of the spells, or it could be Punishing Fire. Caracas is important because they are also a Dark Depths deck. I also need to maintain some amount of land count. Alright, maybe it is just punishing fire. Maybe that's insane against this kind of creature deck, but their creatures are pretty beefy. I don't know. I don't know. Let me know in the chat what you would do here. This is another hand that doesn't do anything. I really want an exploration to keep a hand. Oh, jeez. How low can I go to... Alright. I've lied. I've changed my mind. I don't know. Like, it just feels so crazy mulling to, like, 5 to find exploration or Mox Diamond, but maybe you're supposed to. I don't know. I don't know. That Yavimaya is going to be nice. Zenith for Dryad Arbor. I think I just want to waste that. Just fire it in. Like, Loam Wasteland is the thing that my hand does well. And I kind of want the Yavimaya to stick around. Like, if I can pin them under some Loams, or some wastes, that's pretty cool. I'm going to take out Yavimaya now, even though it is cool for me. Though, this does play into crop rotation. Whatever, make them have it, right? Yeah, they had it. But they can't crop rotate flagstones now. Oh wow, they're just rotating flagstones. Is there a difference? I guess one of them... You end up with 2 lands in play either way. But I guess one of them you can get a green source and a techie land. The other you would just have to get a green source. Alright. I guess that makes sense. Well, at least that did force the play, and they didn't just get the clean, rampant growth. Alright, do I just jam Pithing Needle on Knight of the Reliquary, or do I wait to see a Reclaimer, or whatever? I'm gonna jam on Knight. Like, they didn't have early plays, which makes me think that they're setting up some sort of 3-drop game. And I mean, Knight of the Reliquary is still just a 5/5 on the board. And I don't want to turn off the things in my own deck. Sylvan Library's back. I'm not going to 2-for-1 myself yet on that. Maybe someday. Alright, Saga. Loam. Just looking for a miracle. Exploration top deck. Library triggers. They could make Merit Lage this turn, and there's not a whole lot I can do about it. I mean, they need to respect that I'm a crop rotation deck, too. Like, I could just rotate for Caracas and be set up. Yeah, now they're... they did have 1 ramp play. They ramped with flagstones, and now they're ahead on mana again, and they have a 6/6. So life is pain. I need to take draw steps. So I need to find something like exploration to get ahead here. Ugh. I guess I'll put the Wasteland into play and make sure at least I don't die to Merit Lage. But yeah, if I find, like, Endurance, close this game open. But I'm on a pretty quick clock, of course. Take my 6. Do they have another one? Yep. Uh-oh. Well, I was right that their hand was full of Knight of the Reliquaries, at least. Small solace in this game where I'm not doing anything. Maybe you are just supposed to go to 5. Like, this... I just felt like I'm not doing anything in these games, and it's probably because I've kept sketchy hands. So, I'm dead on board to this Windswept Heath. Nothing I can do about it. Alright. GG's. Yeah, I think I just need to mulligan better. I was never in either of those games because my hand didn't do any of the rampy busted stuff. I was just making land drops against a deck that's also just trying to make lots of land drops. Yeah, lesson learned. New rule moving forward. Mulligan. On the play in round 4. I'm going to follow my new rules. Does Elvish Reclaimer count? Just shipping these hands just seems so crazy. And now I have this Mox Diamond hand, but Mox Diamond is card negative, so like this mull to 5 is actually like a mull to 4 already. But I can play... I guess I want to bottom Bajuka Bog and Thespian Stage, or is it Rashadan Port? Nope, it's one of the Reclaimers, right? That's got to be a Reclaimer. Because then I'm gonna play Diamond, discard Port, or discard Yavimaya. Yeah, I think discard Yavimaya, play Stage, cast Reclaimer. Like, I don't need to port them on literal turn 1 on the play. That's not really what the game's about. like, they don't even have a land for me to port. Alright, force pitching Murktide Regent. That was a good play on my Malta 4. So is this where I just died a Ragavan? Oh yeah, sign me up. The good news is, if I find Merit Lage, I get to, or find Dark Depths, I just get to make it. The bad news is their deck has Wasteland in it, and Rashadin porting someone who has Ragavan in play. Not exactly super effective. So these last couple of hands I kept in previous games that are just like Grove, Fire, Loam, no additional lands, are like, or no ramping, would be great against Izzet Delver, but they were terrible against the matchups that I happened to get paired against at the time. So like, knowing your matchup matters a lot, which isn't super helpful in, you know, round one, game one on the play. Like, you don't even know what you're playing against, and you have to make extremely informed mulligan decisions based on that. Let's just draw Dark Depths and win the game. Oh no. Are you kidding? I mean, I didn't want that, so they can have it, but like, that's scary. Alright, draw Dark Depths. Dark Depths. Blast Zone is not bad. As far as cards I could draw go, I'll take a Blast Zone. It does kill the Rag. At least this one. Doesn't help me for the next one. So the question now is, do I want to take 2 to make sure they don't play a bunch of Delvers post board or second main? Or do I want to just clip this now? Also, they have white man in their deck. What's going on? Oh, you're a Mentor deck. I'm so jealous. Alright, well, now I'm definitely bombing the Rag, because I can't afford for them to hit anything off this Mentor. And the fact that they're a white deck means that ripping Merit Lage isn't even necessarily great. That might be great. Let's find out. Alright. 50-50 chance. They have it or they don't. Do you have an instant? They do have an instant. Alright. I'm not going to pay for days because this creature is dead, or the creature survives anyway. Oh, do I leave up Rashadin port, or do I buy back my Fire? I feel like porting them off red is relevant. Yeah, I'm going to do that. Like, I could buy back Fire this turn, but I can't play it anyway. One of their cards in hand is a land, and one of them is a mystery, so they have one card left that could be an instant. And if it's not, the Fire can get control of Mentor, but if it is, I am screwed. Alright, let's get this back. But I can at least put them to Hellbent. But one thing I can do is... Oh, they are a Daze deck. I'm not gonna... Oh, but Daze counters Fire here anyway. So I can tap the Tundra, force them to float their blue. Alright, they didn't do it. So go for the Fire. So now if they do have a blue instant, they lose their Prismatic Vista to do it at least, which is a way I can pressure them. Alright, I mean, we're suddenly ahead in this game. This is where they show me the main deck Blood Moon. Alright, Dashing Rag. Let's hope that doesn't hit anything important. But Punishing Fire is really good against Rag. They exiled Wood Foothills. I don't care about that. Urza Saga. Don't mind if I do. So now I have Stage Saga, and I can do Grove stuff. So I don't think porting them is the best use of my mana right now. So I can get back Fire, cast Fire, and copy Saga. So there's Ragavan. And then I'm gonna get back Fire, point it at Ragavan. Bang. Alright, Ragavan's gone. Take my one from the Monk. And then I'm gonna copy Saga with Stage. And just gotta stay out of burn range from here. I have a second Saga now. I'm at 11. The Punishing Fire should keep this Monk under control. That was a pretty reasonable draw. Alright, I guess I'll play this Tabernacle. And make them pay. Yeah, Saga just already checks the Monk because I'm making 2/2s through Mox Diamond. though having to pay for my own constructs is kind of shitty. Maybe this was a Rashad Port turn. Probably should have done that. Alright. Casting Rag, not even dashing it. Putting into play. Baron Square. No attacks there. Do I even make... I think I do. That's not the ability I want to use. I want to tap for colorless. Alright. I'm going to tap their land in the end step because I can. And I'm going to get back fire and make a construct. Going to have to pay the troll toll, but I can afford it. So I will pay one. I don't think this Rashad Port is really doing anything right now. I have another one, so second counter on that one. And let's load up. I get to search for something. Pyrite Spellbomb looks pretty good. Expedition Map, what does that do? Do I just want Mox Diamond, or is Rashad Port in play the same thing? I think I want Pyrite Spellbomb. Seems to check the most boxes. And let's start bashing. I think they have easy chumps with the Monk. Oh, they didn't want it. Alright, deal. If you don't want it, I'm happy to give it to you. Alright, so they're paying for their jerks. I have the jerks answered on board already. So they must have some sort of master plan to punch through this wall of 5/5s. Also, this Tabernacle is hurting me more than it's helping me at this point. Maybe I shouldn't have played that, knowing that my plan was to turtle up with constructs. Alright, they're just conceding. I'm not going to have to embarrassingly wade through my own Tabernacle. Okay, not bad. Punishing Fire showed up against this Monastery Mentor deck. So I want spheres. This deck could very well have Blood Moon in it. So I want to respect that a little bit. And what happens outside of that? I didn't see any Pithing Needle stuff. I can assume they have some Planeswalkers, but I'm not going to dedicate... Like, I have to cut something. Tabernacle can control a super go wide Mentor situation, so I'm going to leave it in for that. I've been shaving Dark Depths a lot, and I don't know if that's just wrong or if that's a normal thing to do, but they're a white deck with Swords to Plowshares. So I think that the Saga plan just plays so well into like plow decks that you don't have to expose yourself to that anymore. Alright, Expedition Map, Mox Diamond. Alright, people, let me know. I've been shaving one Mox Diamond with some regularity, and I've also been saying a lot that my hands don't ramp, and I think these things might be related. So please lay out your sideboard plans in the comment section. Let me know what you're working with. Alright, serious question about Sphere of Resistance. It does slow down Mentor shenanigans, but at the same time, it stops me from looping fire effectively and like double spelling in a turn. If I have Exploration Loam going, I'm going to pull ahead eventually, but if I don't, it's just really bad. Like, should I even be doing this? So, locking them out of the game is pretty appealing. And they don't... We saw Murktide Regent off of a pitch. Ooh, that makes me think I want Pyroblast, but maybe I just want Mazavith to control that. Because Ragavan and Mentor are not blue. Like, they don't look like they're actually a Delver deck. They look like there's some mid-range Jeskai deck that has Ragavan in it. So I think I'm going to count on my Mazaviths to control Murktide Regent. Or just make a Merit Lage and block it. Maybe I don't want all of these, but if I want any, I want all of them, right? That's how that card works. Schadenport, Mazavith. Wasteland might not be super effective here. Gotta cut something very quickly here. Alright. 60 card deck with 8 seconds on the clock. Let's go. Elvish Reclaimer is good. There's no ramp here. No sphere. I'm gonna mulligan. Okay, I have a turn 1 Sphere of Resistance. I'm gonna keep... I don't think I need all 3 Grove of the Burnwillows. If they just have turn 1 Ragavan, I'm just iced, I think. On the play, I love this hand. On the draw, not so good. We have seen Daze out of them. But if they spend days on this Sphere of Resistance, then we're ahead a land and we don't have to play through our own Sphere of Resistance anymore. Let's see how this goes. Alright, so the Brainstorm can find days, but that sets them back mana. They also just fetched a non-red land, so that doesn't cast Ragavan. If this resolves, they can't dash Ragavan because that costs 3. Wow, we're in there with Sphere. This is where they just wasteland me and I die. Alright, that's not wasteland. It also doesn't cast Ragavan. Miles away from Monastery Mentor. Hey, that's a magic card. So I'm gonna play Exploration off basic land. Then I can play Grove. And do I want a crop rotation now while the mana is here in my pool? I have one floating. Crop rotation's a rough one to get countered, and I can slow my roll at this point. 3 lands, still don't cast Monastery Mentor. They could dash Ragavan. Schadenport, that's a good one here. Land. I'm probably gonna rotate for a Saga in their end step. Seems like a way to start pulling ahead on this board. I should have crop rotated in response to the Brainstorm. Then if they have Force of Will, they lose their fetch land off the Brainstorm. Though if they crack this fetch land, I can crop rotation with impunity. Okay, now I can't do that anymore. Alright, I'm not going to jam into their counters. They'll have to tap out eventually. Drew and played Blast Zone. Just going to continue with the porting them plan. And I can start charging up Blast Zone. That's also Ragavan insurance. Alright, this Sphere of Resistance hasn't had a huge visible impact on the game, but it's like turn 5 and they haven't cast any spells. So that matters. Alright, no, Blood Moon costs 4. They could go land Blood Moon here or land back to basics. Oh, is this Engineered Explosives for 3? Or, oh. If this is Explosives, they're punting right now because they floated 3 colors of mana. Okay, that works. I could crop rotate in response, but no, alright. You got my Sphere. It's gone. Good work. Brainstorm. I can crop rotate in response if I think that's important. Nah, they can Brainstorm. I think I want to just charge Blast Zone up to 3. Because that answers Mentor and most Planeswalkers. Put X charge counters on this. Right. That also answers Back to Basics. Doesn't answer Blood Moon. Loam. Okay. Now we're cooking. So, make green, they can gain a life. Crop rotation. I can just spew these crop rotations now because Loam will pick up all the lands even if these get countered. So I could get Schadenport, or I think I want Saga with the first one. Then I want to get Stage with the second one. Float and Rote. I think Port is my least important land here. They have 5 over there. Thespian Stage and cast Loam. Get back all these lands. If they've been waiting for Force of Negation till right now, they got me good. Alright, that didn't happen. Fortunate. I'm gonna port them off red in the upkeep. Surgical Extraction my Loams. Nothing I can do about that. You got me. That was good. Loam already drew 3 cards and got a card out of their hand in Surgical, so that was a 4-for-1. Count it. And porting their red takes them off Blood Moon. And Blast Zone can answer Back to Basics, so Blood Moon's the one I'm worried about here. At the end of the turn, if they don't make me use my mana on other stuff, I will copy Stage, or copy Saga with Stage. If they do cast Blood Moon here, I'll copy Forest with Stage. It's just Expressive Iteration. Wow, Expressive Iteration is awkward against Sphere of Resistance. Yeah, that card was great. Also, the fact they had to spend their Prismatic Ending on my Sphere of Resistance and not my Exploration was great. Usually I'm on the Prismatic Ending side of the matchup, but the things that Prismatic Ending lets main decks just answer now is so messed up, like including Exploration. Just like a game 1 clean answer to something like Exploration is so hot. Alright, here's Monastery Mentor. The race is on. Or I could just bomb it right now. Yeah, that's actually fine. If they juked me into losing to back to basics, then good job, but I'm going to lose to mentor too. So, just going to make that play. And I'm not drawing to loam anymore. The card's not in my deck. Oh, I forgot to copy. Shit. I was supposed to copy in my upkeep to get the first counter on this. Damn it. Busy narrating. Alright. It's fine. Figure it out. I guess I Rashad and port them. Maybe I don't port them. Yeah, I guess I just port them. At the very least, it will deny the, or slow down the ceiling of a cantrip chain. Just like, if they go like mentor, ponder, ponder, then at least they can't ponder a third time. They did have it. Okay. So what does that mean for me? It means that stage is copying forest, and my ancient tomb just tapped for the last time. Alright, so they did play through the blast zone pretty well. Like, I fell for that one. Alright, so I have 3 forests to play the game with, and I think I do want to make a construct here. Like, let's just start attacking. I'm not winning this game without attacking. So Mox Diamond in hand is not really a good thing to tutor for. It's just Pirate Spellbomb, I guess. And I have 2 Force of Vigors in the deck that I'm drawing to for out to back to basics. So I got plays. And if I draw any land, Mox Diamond makes 5 colors. Yeah, gaining 2 life there is not the worst. Don't love this position, but here we are. Murktide Regent ends the game real fast from here. Counterbalance, jeez. Alright, this deck is all over the place. I'm kinda into it. Extracting my Sagas, okay. So, there's 1 Dark Depths in my deck. No more Sagas. Alright, the win condition is clear. Mostly the win condition is don't spend too much time thinking about anything, because the deck basically has no win conditions left. No rush to play this Mox Diamond into the counterbalance. There will come a turn where I need to test counterbalance with something. Oh, I could turn my my stage into a basic mountain. That's actually pretty good. They have Swords of Plowshares on top, which is bad for 2 reasons. Number 1, it counters my Elvish Reclaimer. Number 2, if Elvish Reclaimer resolves, they can get rid of it. Okay, they shuffled away the plow. That's good. Reclaimer has a chance to live. Do I want a mountain, or is Mox Diamond fine for red sources? So I only have the 1 depths in the deck, and no loams for Ragavan. So do I want to take 1 from Ragavan? Like, if I kill Ragavan with my Spell Bomb, yeah, I'll just do that. Like, Elvish Reclaimer can brick Ragavan, but I don't know if that's the best plan. Right, I'm going to test the counterbalance with Exploration, though they did just cast Brainstorm. Yeah, Swords of Plowshares on top. Shit. Okay. I should have waited a turn, because they just cast Brainstorm, and they know that all the cards they're worried about cost 1. Yeah, that was loosey-goosey. Should have been more heads up about that one. Just draw a go out of them over there. Alright, there's Force of Vigor. So I can cast that in their upkeep. Alright, I suspect they have counter spells at this point, but I have to make my move. I guess there's a possibility their hand is like 2 plows. Back to basics. Oh, Jesus. Come on. Really? Counterbalance just revealed back to basics. The fuck out of here. Cool. Good stuff. Okay, time to draw the other Force of Vigor. Alright, that's not a bad one. I'll at least make this game take longer. And I do have this. I did get through the counterbalance at least. Let's see. Is their hand 2 Swords of Plowshares? It's at least 1. It's weird that they're firing that off in the end step when They could literally just untap and cast it without losing a Tundra forever. Oh, they have Ragavan. Alright, I guess if you know you're drawing Ragavan somehow, then firing off the end step plow is fine. Oh no, this is a prismatic ending. Nope, it's a Mentor. It's a Murktide Regent. I don't know, I can't tell anymore. Oh, Meltdown. That's even worse. Okay, so that killed my Sphere and my Mox. So now I do need to copy Mountain with my stage, so I have red mana. Looks like they're having trouble winning the game, though. It's good for me. Copy that. Another Rashadan port. So I could just spend a port to get this Volcanic Island out of play. I think that's probably worth doing. I don't want to spend a port forever on the basic lands for a turn. Wasteland, put that into play. I'm gonna slow roll this Tabernacle until they like do something that makes me want to play it. Alright, Sphere. Love seeing those. Hardcast Force of Negation. Yep, okay. Yeah, my plan to win this game is the last Elvish Reclaimer and the only Dark Depths. Uh-oh. Alright, that plan is gonna be very slow. Not anymore, Maze of Ith. Oh, nope, they've back to basics. Maze of Ith doesn't do much. I remember that time I killed their back to basics and then they played another one off the top. That was a good time. Hopefully they go super deep on Monks this turn and Tabernacle can do something. But they have enough lands that, and my life total is low enough that that might not even matter. Oh, they have a Wasteland. Cool. Well, joke's on you, my lands don't function anyway. Might as well get paid for the Maze of Ith right now. I'm also going to Wasteland their Wasteland. Like, let's force some activity here. I don't want them to be able to hit a Dark Depths if I draw it. Okay, they went after my tapped Maze of Ith. You got me. Alright, deck, help me out here. That might be a little helpful, actually. So, this is the moment of truth. I'm going to make them pay for their creatures, then I'm going to go for Force of Vigor. Because they'll be tapped out of hard cast counterspells at least. Oh, not even paying, not interested. Alright, so that's bought and paid for. Now's the time. This, I will not get dazed. It can get forced. Oh, they're spending mana. This is bad. Oh, do they have double daze? Put a tilt? Or are they just pushing for damage with Mentor where they can? Because nothing's ever going to get dazed again. Nope, it's the double daze. Alright, we're dead. Dead to back to basics. Also, my sideboard plan was basically devoid of win conditions. Though they did have to surgical me twice for that to happen. Yeah, we mostly just lost that game to back to basics. I probably should have brought in Pyroblast, but this deck is as likely to have Blood Moon as they are back to basics. Like they're pretty comparable cards in this Jeskai basic land shell, and I brought in the card that answers both, but not the card that cleanly answers one. So with more format knowledge, I think someone would have had a better sideboard plan than this. Luckily, we are going to game 3, which lets me change my sideboard plan. Pyroblast answers all of the things that I saw. The counterbalance, the back to basics. Force of Vigor also hits counterbalance. The surgical extractions, ripping out my sagas were pretty good. They hit Loam also. Do I have a way to add more win conditions? I can put a second Dark Depths back in the deck, and I could just get off this Sphere of Resistance thing. Like, I think the Sphere is probably really good, but is it better than just playing a functional game? Though, on the play, I could lock them out of ever casting back to basics. I don't think I want all 3 of these. Just some split of reasonable answers here, I think, is fine. Expedition map. Like, the Saga package is getting pretty thin here, but I think the if they're willing to fire off surgical on it, that may not even matter. Can I start cutting loams, or do I just cut another wasteland? Like, at some point, just the raw number of lands in the deck starts to become a problem, because then I don't have things to discard to Mox Diamond. But wasteland really doesn't do much for the matchup, and I think that all these spells are pretty good. So let's get in there. As much as I would have loved to bring in some endurances just as another another win condition, I don't think that is actually a good plan. So this hand has turn 2 Sphere, but doesn't really do anything in the meantime. I could actually turn 1 Sphere if I rotate for Ancient Tomb, but I don't think that's a good play. Okay, this one just has it. So I'm going to send... I think I'm going to send the Force of Vigor, because this line of Sphere of Resistance, Saga, Copy Saga, just needs all its cards right now. And if I get this Sphere into play early, then Back to Basics hopefully isn't a problem. That's the dream anyway. Alright, let's start doing Busted Saga stuff. Ooh. I'll take Exploration here. Someday I'll draw a loam. And I get to copy Saga immediately. Wow, this is a good start. These are the starts where I always roll my eyes when I'm the blue deck. I'm just like, ugh. They have everything. I do indeed have everything right now. They can Prismatic Ending the Sphere. Just get it out of here. Like, you announce Prismatic Ending for 1, and then you pay the 1 extra for Sphere, and then you can exile a 2-drop. I don't know what they think they're doing for 1 blue mana over there. You gotta pay. Okay. They took the bold strategy of ignore the Sphere and try to cast Ponder. It didn't work. They did not shuffle. Alright, so I'm gonna copy my Saga, and then we go into robot mode. They have basic lands I can copy, and I just drew a forest, so I've got lands I can copy too to turn Saga, or the stage Saga, into a basic land, which doesn't get caught under Back to Basics. And then I can use... Alright, so that was a cast, that was not a dash, because that would have just traded with a construct. Probably the right call from the opponent there. Then, whoops, I don't want to copy, I want to add. That's confusing every single time. Alright, so I get that. Wasteland, not the best here, but any land plays. So I'm gonna fetch so I can make a construct. The Meltdown is pretty scary, but I can still... Actually, yeah, let's make the map Meltdown. It's fine. So here's this. Tutor up the Pyrite Spellbomb. Still in the deck? Yep. Alright. Then play my Wasteland. Attack for 5. Let's party. Alright, the old block with Ragavan. I like when they do that. So my Urza Saga, or my Thespian Stage, knows how to make constructs now. So I can use Ancient Tomb to copy one of the basics in play if they have Back to Basics here. But if they tap out for Back to Basics here, they're just dead. Alright, yeah. 2 mana Swords to Plowshares, I'll take it. If they tapped out for Back to Basics there, I make a Golem, or a construct. I attack for 18, which is their life total. Okay, so I'm gonna make a construct in the end step, and then in my upkeep, or no, in my draw step, in response to the trigger, I copy a basic land. Thespian Stage becomes a forest. And then I get to tutor. Alright, they're scooping it up. We're on the board against the fair blue deck. We're on the play in the final round, playing for the positive record, and finally have one of these nutter hands that just has all 3 of the things in it. So I'm going to keep. So I think I lead on the exploration first, though I'm not sure if it matters. But here's Exploration. It's on the stack. And I'll play Grove of the Burn Willows. And and play Mox Diamond because I get to get these lands back right away. That is how that works. Life from the Loam, folks. Powerful stuff. And I didn't show them the Wasteland along the way. I guess I could have played Wasteland. Oh, this is where I get just stormed out after this insane start. Come on, Legacy. We're just dying to some Dark Ritual shit right now. Great. Great. I hate Legacy. I hate it. I quit the format. Actually, this is not that bad. So their discard spells don't kill me because my hand is just lands. I have a chance to Life from the Loam into Maze of Ith. They can make a second monster. What is it? Okay. They targeted me with the Unmasked just to check that third card, and it was Wasteland. So I can loam into... What can I loam into? Maze of Ith, Caracas. Even Tabernacle's not complete garbage here. Dark Depths also just makes a 20/20. Remember that time I had the nut start and then we were just playing against Reanimator? Oh, they're Children of Corliss with the combo kill. We're just dead. It's not even a build where I have a chance to draw Caracas against. We're just getting tendrils out right now. Cue the Linkin Park track. I'm crawling in my skin. These wounds, they will not heal. I tried so hard. I got so far. But in the end, it didn't even matter. I've become so numb, I can't feel you there. What other Linkin Park songs can I quote right now? I think those are all the three that I know. Well, they have 0 cards left in their deck. Maybe they didn't draw the tendrils. Yeah, they're just showing off at this point. Memeing for the camera. Okay, they had the tendrils. It was in their deck. My only plan was to hope they forgot to register it. Sideboard plan includes all of these anti-storm cards. Endurance. Do I want Force of Vigor? It can hit Animate Dead as just like another thing, but I don't think that's actually the plan at all. Then Meekstone has options. Like if I deny the combo kill, Meekstone could shut down the beatdown. So Punishing Fire doesn't matter. Pirate Spell Bomb doesn't matter. Expedition Map might matter. Wasteland doesn't matter. Or, I mean, I'll shave some number of them. Tabernacle probably doesn't matter. Yeah, so Tabernacle could matter in terms of if I waste or port them off all their mana and then lock them out. Like there could be like a super long game lock plan with Tabernacle, but I gotta cut 8 or 9 cards from this deck. I gotta start somewhere. Crop Rotation's great. Reclaimer's great. Loam might be too slow for the matchup, but I do have Endurance, so I need to keep my green count up. Yikes. Yeah, I think some number of Wastelands are going to start leaving the deck. I like the Maze of Iths quite a bit, obviously. So, do I need both of them, or should I tutor for one of them if it comes up? It's not a card I really want to draw naturally, but Mox Diamond can convert it for profit. Maybe Expedition Map is just too slow and not what I'm looking for. I think the Meekstone, I'm off it. Like, I have Caracas and Maze of Ith for Meekstone related shit. I guess the Archon of Cruelty would beat those other things, but it would not beat Meekstone. Oh god. There's so much happening right now. I think I need Mox Diamond because I need to get my fast mana up. Alright, I've cut a Maze of Ith. You can yell at me later. But I have 16 seconds to make these decisions. Alright. 1 Wasteland left in the deck. All my hate art cards are in. Let's go. I'm just hoping for a turn 1 Sphere. That's the goal here. Alright, so I do in fact have a turn 1 Sphere. I have 2 Mox Diamonds with no lands to discard to them. But I do have turn 1 Sphere. I'm going to keep this. So a Mox Diamond busts a Chancellor Bubble. So I'll at least take that. And once Sphere's in play, they're not going to be able to combo kill me, and Meekstone can lock down their monsters. Alright, they didn't even have the decency of letting me pop their Chancellor bubble with my irrelevant Mox Diamond. Alright, time to draw a land. My deck's got 32 of them left in it. There's one. Alright. Shut it down, team. This is how we do this. Fetching in response. Do you play Daze? What are you fetching for? Can't do anything. Alright. Getting aggro against this Reanimator Wizard. They took my nut draw from me. Chrome Mox. So they could work up to a Solemnity. Could actually be pretty good. Alright, so I'm sure their deck has basics in it. Oh, I probably wanted to discard that to Mox Diamond to set up Endurance. That was bad. 1, 2, 3, 4. Yeah, I needed to hold that. Whoops. I'll draw land next turn, don't worry. And the Meekstone is still checking a lot of things. Okay, here we go. Elvish Reclaimer's in play now. They have to combo this turn, or else I'm representing Bajuka Bog for the rest of the game. So they can Entomb now, untap, Reanimate, and then I can spin for Mazavith or Karakas. Yep, there's the 3-mana Entomb. I really wish this Ghost Quarter was a Mox Diamond. Getting Ashen Rider. Okay, that one does not ignore Mazavith. It does ignore... Or it can remove Spheres if they're going to try to combo out, or it could remove Reclaimer if they're just going to try to beat me down with this thing. Okay. Thorn of Amethyst. Alright. Alright, deck. We have enough of these. Do I play the Meekstone now? Yeah, let's just get that out of the way. So this Archon gets to attack once, put me to 7. This Ancient Tomb has done a lot of work. I don't think this deck plays Cabal Therapy anymore to discard their own Ashen Rider. Or sack their own Ashen Rider. Grizzlebrand and Chancellor in the bin. The Grizzlebrand can become lethal. Alright, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Alright, I can cast Endurance. And making the land drop is better than Mox Diamond there, because Mox Diamond costs 2 to get into play, and it doesn't leave up Endurance for the turn. Endurance can also absorb the 5 damage hit from Ashen Rider if my life total becomes precarious. Let's go. I will endure. Is there any reason to get Basic Forest over Taiga here? I think the reason is that I don't have any red cards in my deck and it doesn't matter. Alright, that's a good reason. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. There it is. Get out of here. Endurance can't untap either, but it will absorb this damage and I'll win this game eventually, somehow. I do like Wasteland. Take them off white, which is the color that casts Solemnity. Or Serenity? Yeah, Serenity, not Solemnity. Solemnity sucks. Serenity blows up my whole board. Maybe I'm supposed to deploy Thorn there? I don't know. Alright, 2 mana Lotus Petal. Yeah, I think I want to play the Thorn. I'm just looking at these Mox Diamonds in my hand, like, oh, great. Alright, 1, 2, 3, 4. Alright, I guess if nobody plays this game, I'm favored. Like, I'm eventually going to dig out a Thorns better than they are. They got a spell. Another 3 mana Lotus Petal. This Meekstone's been great. Hey. This costs 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Gotta be careful here, because now I am dead to a single attack from this Ashen Rider. I think Wasteland is the play. This Ancient Tomb is starting to become dangerous. If they just have like a removal spell, they win. Okay. 4 mana, including 2 Lotus Petals to cast Entomb. Now the job is for that Grizzlebrand to never come into play. Alright. Endurance is dead. Ashen Rider's tapped. We just got that out of the way. I appreciate their honesty. Do I need to Dredge Loam? Yes. Alright, Port, Stage, Wasteland. Okay, so 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I can go to 3 to get this Loam cast. Get back Wasteland, Stage, Port. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Then this is probably the last spell I'm going to cast off Ancient Tomb. But I also think we've done what we need to do here. All right. There we go. Every spell costs 4. They have no lands. I will Dredge Loam. I'm not casting it this turn probably, but I don't mind getting it done. Okay, so 1, 2, 3. I think a 3-mana Mox Diamond is a good deal here. Discard Rashad and Port, and I'm not going to cast anything else. Pass the turn, start pulling ahead. Pretty sure we've won this game, but I've said that before. Urza Saga's a banger. That's how we actually win the game. And then 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Loam pick some stuff up. I can do the stage Saga thing. Game will end pretty quickly from here. Oh, missed my chance to activate stage. I'm just trying really hard not to mess this up, and in so doing, messing it up. Classic BoshNRoll. Classic human condition, really. 1, 2, 3. Mox Diamond. Discard this Misty. And then that's the turn. They're actually just like dead in 2 from this Urza Saga. I don't even need to do stage stuff. Oh, they found a land. That's so lucky. Alright. 1, 2. Construct. Yeah, they're on a 2-turn clock. So I'm not gonna Ancient Tomb going to 1. I'm not sure how that would punish me, but it's like non-zero that it could happen. Then 1, 2, copy stage in my upkeep so it triggers. Let's Dredge Loam, sure. Triggers on the stack. I'm gonna get Mox Diamond. I got lands to discard. That's not a bottleneck I'm currently facing. Alright, now we just gotta win a game on the draw. Because that was easy. Alright, we did it. We won the game where we had a nut draw on the play. Well, we lost the game we had a nut draw on the play, then won a game we also had a nut draw on the play. But one of them was post sideboard and the other wasn't. So, what's the plan here? Oh, I forgot that was my only wasteland in the deck, and I found it and it just went to town. Do I need my Maze of Ith? Like max Maze of Iths on the play in case I just need to just drop one as my land drop? Is that how this works? I don't think I bring in Force of Vigor just for the chance that they have Animate Dead as their animation spell. Animate Dead is just like 4 of their 12 reanimate spells, and it's not a good card elsewhere. Or the Wasteland plan under... I mean, Wasteland is probably better than Ghost Quarter, though they do also have basic lands in their deck. If my plan is to squeeze them out entirely, I need both. Is Exploration an important part of the plan? Is Life from the Loam an important part of the plan? And I need a Loam eventually, but I need to be alive first. Yeah, I think I want this second Maze of Ith in, but gotta figure out what comes out for it. I've pretty much ruled out any spell as the answer, but I don't want to go too thin on lands. Maybe Exploration just isn't, although it is a green card. Meekstone actually did win me that game. It was a huge part of the game. Maybe it's a Loam, like being green. Maybe it's Mox Diamond. All right, I'm cutting a Mox Diamond. Drawing all 4 of them last game under my spheres was not exciting, or 3 of them with 1 left to tutor. Like, I just need to keep my green count density up because Endurance is my only turn 0 play. But I have Karakas. I'm going to keep on the strength of Karakas. Let's hope it's good enough. Though, because they're the combo build, I might just die. Let's hope they take a little bit of time off to respect Endurance. Because I did just Snapkeep a 7. Okay, Thought Seizing me. Not the worst, unless they also have, like, Land Ritual kill you. Okay, and I am going to put Karakas just straight into play. Now they can tutor up something that is not a legend. But at least I'm not getting dumpstered by Grizzlebrand right now. Entomb. Are they just getting the Archon here? Or are they just leaning into Grizzlebrand, hoping they can combo me out through the Caracas? Which is entirely possible. Alright, they are trying to combo me out through the Caracas, which is something that their build can probably make a run at. Alright, there's that. Here's Exhume. Oh, I get my Reclaimer back, get wrecked. Nice. That was a good Thoughtseize. So I think the time to Caracas is when Children of Corliss is about to enter the battlefield, or when they put Pithing Needle on the stack. Like, those are the two times that activating Caracas is probably the right call. There are distributions of 14 cards in their deck that just easily win the game through Caracas, and there are distributions that don't do anything. Like, if they just draw a bunch of discard spells here, that's actually doesn't even have text. There's one unknown card in my hand for them. Ooh, Villas. That's a scary demon. The Reanimating Villas, which lets them draw 8 right away. Alright, but they are at 2, so they can't reanimate anymore. They're at 1. Ugh. This Villas is scary. When they play the children, I'll bounce Grizzlebrand. But with this many cards in hand, there's a good chance they can just discard and reanimate their Grizzlebrand. Done my best. There's the children. They get to gain like 18 life, 16 life. And now they Faithless Looting, discard Grizzlebrand, bring it back again. Alright. This was rough. And they kept a hand that Thoughtseizes into this, so on the draw, even if I had mulliganed to Sphere or Endurance, they Thoughtseize it and it's gone. So the Caracas being a line that doesn't get disrupted by discard, I think makes this a pretty reasonable keep. But, of course, their deck is just really good against this one. I think the one thing, the Hail Mary for this game would have been drawing Crop Rotation off the top after the Thoughtseize and just bogging them, and they don't get the first Grizzlebrand in. Ooh, are they passing the turn? That's good for me. That nukes their Storm count at least. And I can activate Elvish Reclaimer. So Mox Diamond is my best draw right now. Or Ancient Tomb. Sphere is not it. What do I do here? Do I represent Crop Rotation? I think I play Thespian Stage. Or do I play Saga? Like, what land do I want to sack to Elvish Reclaimer is the question. Maybe it's just Ghost Quarter. Like, I'm probably going to have to rotate into Bog just for a chance at being alive. Next turn. This thing doesn't have lifelink. That's just an 8/8. So, yeah, I think that Ghost Quarter is the worst land here. Yeah, if I had drawn Mox Diamond or Ancient Tomb there, I would have been able to activate Reclaimer and bounce Villas with Caracas, which is what I really needed to do. They could also just kill Elvish Reclaimer by paying black. And then they also draw 4 cards when they do that. Yeah, Villas has other words on him. I'm going to take 8, though. That's part of the plan, one way or the other. I don't get to bounce this irrelevant creature with Caracas. I have to save it for the Grizzlebrand, or just rotate so they don't get a Grizzlebrand. Exhume. What's in their graveyard? They have a Chancellor. So I think I have to let them have Chancellor. Oh, they have Children also. Alright, this resolves. Because if I rotate for Bog, they can let the Bog resolve, and then entomb a Grizzlebrand, then they get to go off. Wait, why are they losing life? Okay, they're targeting my creature twice. So I can Bog them now, or I can just let this all happen. I think I have to let this happen. And then, or I could rotate for a Mazavith right now. That actually sounds pretty good. Alright, sack the Ghost Quarter, get Mazavith, and hope they can't combo kill me. So, there's a good chance they can, because their deck is made to do that, and the coast is clear right now. But if I bounce Villas, Maze, Chancellor for a while, there might be a game here. Right, here comes the Dark Ritual. Looks like it's go time. If they cast another Exhume, I get Elvish Reclaimer. They're unmasking themselves, targeting the Grizzlebrand. So they have Animate and the Tendrils already in hand. I'm at 12. Oh, they're Exhuming, so I get my Reclaimer back again. That'll show you. Alright, so they draw 14 cards here. And if Dark Ritual is among them, I'm dead. Or a third Lotus Petal. Have they made their land drop for the turn? I don't actually know. They're unmasking me, taking my Sphere. They're unmasking themselves again. Showing me their hand for fun. Right, they have a Reanimate that can target children. But they only have 10 cards left in their deck. So if they activate Grizzlebrand, they die. Alright, flashing back Faithless Looting. Reanimate children. So they draw one card from that. So they can't activate Grizzlebrand or they lose. This has gotten weird. They're at 17. They need Lotus Petal, Dark Ritual to win. Ooh, they're just passing the turn. Wild, wild stuff. I mean, I'm still probably in trouble to these squad of monsters, but also they could just natty Tendrils me next turn. So is Caracas or Sphere of Resistance actually going to help me more here? I think I'm going to play the Thespian stage, though. Though, if I play Saga, that might represent a counterattack, but not really. Alright, just play the stage and hope for the best here. And Grizzlebrand is the one that I want to bounce, because I kind of want Villas to be in play. Or is it the other way around? Like, I could potentially deck them. Alright, I'm going to bounce Grizzlebrand and Maze Villas. I go to 7 here, and if they can just get a few Storm on the stack, I lose. So they're at 17 life. That's a lot. So Storm is 1. Storm is 2. Uh-oh, this looks like a spell. 3. Okay. Yeah, now they have the Tendrils. The natty Tendrils for 8. Alright. They figured it out. They drew their whole deck and managed to win somehow. Good job. Okay, so I 2-3'd that league, and we can agree that I definitely punted against Grixis in that game 1 that I had otherwise locked up, but I messed up and missequenced my crop rotation and my expedition map. So that's a game that was 100% mine to win, and I put it in the graveyard. And I'm sure that there's a lot of other things that I didn't even know I did wrong. I lost a game. I ended up winning the match, but I lost a game where I didn't bring in Pyroblast for Back to Basics. I honestly don't even remember all the details of this league, but we can agree that I missequenced a number of times. Like I warned you I would. This deck is very hard to play optimally, but we did get to do the Urza Saga thing a few times. The copying it with Sage is insane. The tutor package is pretty robust. Even just getting Mox Diamond is totally presentable. I think that this deck is awesome, and I think that Urza Saga really juiced it up. I'm not sure about, like, there's some weird numbers in this list, but I'm sure they're weird for a reason. But like having 3 crop rotations out of 4, 2 Elvish Reclaimer, 2 Punishing Fire, those numbers don't make sense to my brain on the surface, but Lauren has done the testing. Like she put the work in and she got to these numbers somehow, and I respect that, and I'm sure these numbers are right, but they're not immediately apparent to me, much like most of the lines in the deck. So thank you for watching this. I don't have a lot of wrap up here because that was a completely inductive process. Like I was just like trying to figure out what this deck even does on the fly the whole match, or the whole league. And I am not going to offer like constructive deck advice at the end like I normally do, like what I would do to the list, how I would change the sideboard, because I don't freaking know. Like this is definitely a deck you have to get the table time. You have to understand every matchup. You have to know what every deck might be doing against you, so sideboard appropriately. Like, you need to know if Jeskai Mentor has Blood Moon or Back to Basics in the sideboard so you can sideboard appropriately. And all those things are just things you need to know. And I don't know them. We put up a 2-3. Maybe could have been a 3-2. There was a definite onboard egregious punt involved in one of the losses, so I'll own that all day. And it's likely that could have sequenced differently and just won some of those other games in ways that I don't even begin to understand. So please, in the comments, let me know where I could have made different lines. Be sure to include timestamps. It's a long video. I need to be able to click and find the spot easily to review things. Lands is a deck I'm very interested in getting better with, so any feedback, any constructive feedback is welcome. And thank you so much, Lauren, for providing your list. Thank you, Spunky, for asking me to play this. Thank you, all of the rest of you, for watching this. Remember to like and subscribe while you're here, and I'll see you next time.